And Somali pirates have released an arms-laden Ukrainian ship after receiving a $3.2 million ransom. Pirates captured the ship months ago in the Gulf of Aden as it headed to Kenya with its cargo of Russian-made tanks, ammunition and other military hardware. Kenya says it was the intended recipient of the cargo, but maritime officials and diplomats in the region say it was destined for the government of Southern Sudan. The pirates originally asked for $35 million.
And still on piracy in Somalia, pirates there attacked more than 100 ships last year off the Somali coast. Among those suffering from the attacks are refugees who depend on food shipments. David Axe reports for VOA.
Somali aid workers distribute American-donated food at a refugee camp outside Mogadishu. Somalia has suffered through 18 years of war and drought. The UN World Food Programme calls it the world's most serious humanitarian crisis. The UN says it must ship, by sea, around 12,000 tons of food per month from Kenya to feed more than 3 million Somalis. But UN logistician Jemmy Limberi says that piracy off the Somali coast threatens to disrupt the shipments.
Because of the pirate situation, big ship owners were not that much willing to come to Mombasa to take WFP food to Somalia.
In late 2007, the UN requested military assistance to protect the food convoys from pirates. For more than a year, the world's navies took turns escorting the UN-contracted food ships on a temporary basis. The UN has found a more permanent military partner in the European Union. In December, the EU launched a 1 to 2 year mission to escort the food ships from Kenya to Somalia. Greek Commodore Antonis Papagiannou commands the 5-ship force.
One ship is always dedicated to the protection of World Food Programme shipping here in Mombasa.
Ship owners working with the UN are cautiously optimistic about the EU deployment. Kareem Kudrati manages Motaku shipping in Mombasa, Kenya. Pirates have hijacked all 4 of Motaku's ships.
I think they are doing enough, but unfortunately the coastline is so huge. You don't have a vessel every time. The navies cannot escort one vessel at a time. It's very difficult.
Ships' crews aren't shy about their enthusiasm for the EU mission. Edward Calendero commands the merchant ship Semlo, owned by Motaku and contracted to the UN.
It was safe.
Why was the trip so safe?
Because we had escorts of British Navy.
The UN says the EU warships help ensure the steady delivery of food aid to Somalia. In December, the UN says it managed to boost deliveries to 30,000 tons, enough to create a small reserve in case future shipments are disrupted. But the UN says the only lasting solutions to Somalia's hunger problem must play out on land. Again, the UN's Jemmy Limberi.
We also hope to get an improved security situation in Somalia, where the poor people, the needy people are adequately assisted.
In Mombasa, this is David Axe for Voice of America.